And we're bringing someone who understands both sides between Baltimore and D.C. very well. This is tremendous to have you here, the Librarian of Congress, Dr. Carla Hayden. I love that you get both ends of this, but tell me about growing up here, making a home here in Baltimore, and obviously you're an O's fan.
Well, I'm definitely an O's fan, and I came to Baltimore from Illinois to head up the Edith Pratt Free Library, one of the best libraries in the country. And I've stayed in Baltimore, but then I became the Librarian of Congress, and now I'm commuting between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So it is the best of the worlds.
I love that. Now, what led you to this? Because you ultimately spent time with that Enoch Pretty Free Library for 20 years. That's
20
a
years.
phenomenal service.
And it's a wonderful way to give back to the community and be part of the community. And so when I was asked to think about being the Librarian of Congress at the world's largest library, I said, what could I do? And I said, I can open it up to everybody. And that's what we're doing.
What drew out your love of books to dedicate to this space? I feel like there's so many times where I'm yelling people should be reading books, especially when technology tries to take over, but books still prevail.
They prevail, and I was the child of two musicians, and I had no talent, but I could read, and that was something I could do. And then I just fell in love with it, and it became just a passion.
We are so much better off, though, because you've chosen to share this passion. Now, you mentioned this, becoming the Librarian of Congress in 2016. So this is another great event that's near and dear to your heart, ultimately, with the National Book Festival. Tell me about this.
Well, it's going to be on August the 24th, a Saturday, at the Washington Convention Center in Washington, D.C., and it features about 100 authors.
Wow.
Everybody from James McBride to James Patterson, Doris Kearns Goodwin, Tamron Hall is coming.
Wow.
You're going to have Eric Lawson, Max Greenfield, just all of these authors that will be there. They'll be signing their books. You can talk with them and everything. So it's really an all-day extravaganza.
That is incredible. I'm going to need off work, by the way, for when we get to this moment here. But you've also gotten to work with David Rubenstein pretty closely on this. Obviously, he's a big part of the Orioles. Now, tell me about that relationship.
Well, he is a big believer in the power of literacy and books. He started at the Enoch Pratt Free Library, and he talks about that. And so he has sponsored things at the National Library, at the Library of Congress, and for the last 15 years, he's been the main sponsor of this National Book Festival. And he interviews authors. He's just really something when you see him around the authors. And so he has been just the biggest supporter of this book festival.
That sounds like two very like-minded powerhouses coming here. Again, we cannot thank you enough. We know that this is not your first trip here, so I know that first pitch is going to be an excellent one. You're good. You're good. You've got this.
It's
But
okay.
again, a really big honor today here on O's Extra. We are joined by the Librarian of Congress, Dr. Hayden. Make sure that you check out that National Book Festival.